Hello and welcome all of you to Easy Electrical. Today is the fourth day of our class on electrical measurements. So before going into the details, we all know that we are running a SSC JE online class, and in that online class, it is basically held via your Gmeet session, and in that we basically include our concept-based classes for technical electrical, concept-based classes for non-technical. We have included test series, practice papers, and recording of the classes that you do, and it is provided with to you over YouTube, and it is for your lifetime use. Okay, so once you do, it will stay there for you for lifetime. Now, one more thing that we have incorporated is lab practicals. Lab practicals we have in talks, and we will be really very soon we'll be getting the lab practicals as well. And exam specific notes we provide basically for whatever railway JE or another AE examinations you are doing. You can prepare via this course itself only. So it is a comprehensive course which takes up everything for your RRB JE, SSC JE, or AE JE level, any other examination. Now in today's class we basically deal with analog instruments, and in the analog instruments the first question that I am taking up is your on the multiplying power of a shunt. So multiplying power of a shunt is basically represented by 1 plus Rm by RSH. Rm is basically your what it is, meter resistance, right? And RSH is your basically what it is, your shunt resistance. Suppose we are having a meter like this. Okay, suppose like this it is a meter, and shunts is basically connected via this part. So suppose here a current is flowing, suppose ISH, the resistance is having RSH. In this direction the current is IM, and in this current direction the current is suppose RM, and in this direction suppose I current is flowing. So from one understanding we can observe here is that the drop across IM RM has to be is equals to ISH RSH, right? Because it is across this terminal. Now from this one more understanding that we can observe here is that I is basically your IM plus ISH, right? So multiplying factor is what? Multiplying factor M is basically your whatever ISH you are obtaining, whatever whatever value of the current that passes through your meter resistance. So with respect to that we are basically calculating, right? So what is the multiplying factor? What is the multiplying factor that we can give here? So if you just put the value in place of your ISH value, if you just put here, so what you will get here, suppose your if you just put here, so I is equals to Im plus, in place of ISH I am putting Im Rm by RSH, right? Rm by RSH. So I is equals to Im 1 plus Rm by RSH, right? So here this I by Im term is basically your 1 plus Rm by RSH, right? So this 1 by Im is basically your multiplying factor, how much amount of multiplication that we can do with the help of this meter. So we can observe get the value from here. Now for a rectifier type instrument, which of the following statement is correct statement? Basically the power consumption in a rectifier type instrument is low, that is also correct statement. High range of operating frequency, that is also correct. High torque weight ratio, that is also correct. So the all the options of these questions will be correct. Rectifier type instrument is basically a PMMC type instrument. Just consider a PMMC type instrumented block, PMMC type instrument, okay, and just add in this PMMC type instrument a rectifier. What rectifier you will need to add? Yeah, just add a bridge rectifier. You have a bridge rectifier, suppose say bridge rectifier is there. Okay, so this is basically your rectifier type instrument, and in this case you can see that the power consumption is very much low, and the power consumption is very much low, and the operating frequencies can be operated at higher levels. That means from 20 hertz to up to kilohertz range you can operate. Now coming to next question, a hot wire type instrument measures, basically it is used for AC measurement. So for AC measurement we all know we basically measure the RMS current. The major disadvantage of dynamometer type instrument includes that it is a low accuracy, error due to hysteresis, susceptible errors due to stray magnetic fields. Basically, the errors what all are for the dynamometer type instruments that we observe is basically your susceptible due to the errors due to the stray magnetic field. Whatever stray magnetic field is there causes an error in the instruments. Okay, so this is the one of the major errors that we have. Now Dynamometer type wattmeters can be used in, basically dynamometer type wattmeters can be used in both AC as well as DC. Electrodynamometer type wattmeters can be used for both DC as well as AC. Instead of electrodynamometer type wattmeter, dynamometer type instrument, ferrodynamic meters are basically used. The fact is, it produces high deflecting torque. Why high deflecting torque? Because whenever we are using ferromagnetic materials, ferrodynamic and ferromagnetic materials produce higher amount of operating field. So if higher amount of operating field is produced, high deflecting torque will be produced. Okay, so all the 2 points are not correct, but this point is basically correct, high deflecting torque. Sensitivity of a repulsion type meter is, generally sensitivity of a repulsion type meter is greater than that of the attraction type meter. You have to keep in mind this short question. In very most of the examinations this is getting asked. Okay, so in case of repulsion type instrument, the sensitivity is more. Now, for MI type instrument, the deflecting torque is equal to current, proportional to square of the current, or equal to square of the current. But it is basically your proportional to the square of the current. So, because of this reason only, we get that uneven distribution of the curve. That is uneven distribution of the scale. We are also getting because of this. Okay. Now, nonlinear characteristics we are basically getting. Now coming to the next question. Extension of range of an AC instrument is critical, but the time constant of the of shunt and coil are made different, are made equal, or the coil and shunt must be made of frequency independent. Basically, we generally tend to make the time constant, that is L by R ratios must be same. That is L by R for coil divided by LSH by RSH has to be same. So this point has to be more made equal. That is their critical values. Other than that, they has to be frequency independent as well. So frequency dependent parameters are also associated. So both B and C will be the correct option. Now here one question is given. A MI type instrument requires a 400 ampere turns to give a full scale deflection. How could the instrument be used to measure 50 milliamperes, 50 amperes, assuming that the current carrying capacity of the coil is greater than 50 amperes. This point is the ultimate point. If it is given, in that case 400 divided by 50 you do, then you will get 8. So 8 will be the correct answer. If it is not given, in that case problem will occur. And what problem will occur, that is your homework. Just in the comment section, just write what problem will occur if this value is not 50 amperes. Okay, so I will give the answer if you reply in this case regarding this question. This is a very good question. If you have some idea, just write in the comment section. Now coming to our last part, that is, if you have any doubts regarding all of the classes that we are doing, you can readily WhatsApp me in this mobile number, as well as you can directly mail at electricaleasy@gmail.com. So thank you everyone for staying up to this point. I hope you are enjoying our course, and if you feel that this is worth whatever prices we have charged, just feel free to share with your friends and let them know the registration process or registration part of this course is open, or it will stay open. Thank you everyone for listening to this class. Thank you.